Illegally appointed Jack Smith. I know it sounds far-fetched. It's true. Do your research. Look it up. Was he even appointed legally by Merrick Garland? He is trying to rush the Supreme Court into quick, get into panic over Trump. And the Supreme Court, I believe they're not going to buy any of this. They're going to say, shut up, kid. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug TenNapel. This is where all the happy patriots are. As we watch Jack Smith flop sweat into complete failure. I've gathered up a bunch of quotes to make my case. All I ask from you is a subscribe and a watch. You guys have all been doing that pretty dang well. I have no complaints. First, we're going to go to Byron York on Twitter. Why does Jack Smith keep urging courts to speed up the Trump trial without mentioning that he, Smith, is racing to try, convict, and sentence Trump before the November 5th election? He acts like, oh, this is just like every other case. Remember that? They go like, no man is above the law. We treat him equally under the law. No, you speed up under Trump because he's a candidate. They're pushing. That's Jack Smith's whole agenda, speed up. Trump's whole agenda is slow down. Justice, the wheel turns slow, my friends. By the way, on the January 6th defendants, they're all going, slow down. Don't try any of these guys. Leave them to rot in prison without a trial. We'll let those go as many years as possible. But Trump, go. Under the same charges, the same January 6th charges of obstruction. Smith's new filing says the public has a compelling interest of unique national importance in speedy trial, but leaves out the fact that defendant is leading candidate for the presidency this November. Little does Jack Smith know, but he would run afoul of the Justice Department guidelines that contradict him and say federal prosecutors and agents may never select the timing of any action, including investigative steps, criminal charges, or statements for the purpose of affecting any election. That's why Jack Smith will not come out and say it. Look, we got to hurry up because an election is coming, because he would breach that. But at least that would be telling the truth. Good one, Byron York. Let's move on to Greg Price. Jack Smith just filed a motion urging the Supreme Court to let Donald Trump's J6 trial proceed without further delay. He says that a delay would, quote, frustrate the public interest in a speedy and fair verdict and cause, quote, serious harm to the government and the public. What do you think of that? Does he have a case? Well, let's continue with Greg Price. In what world does the public interest in a trial and, quote, harm to the government outweigh the rights of the accused? So see, they don't want to panic into folly if it's going to breach Trump's rights as a citizen. Here's the legal document. He has no entitlement to a further stay while seeking discretionary review from the court. Delay in the resolution of these charges threatens to frustrate the public interest in the speedy and fair verdict, says Jack Smith. A compelling interest in every criminal case, and one that has unique national importance here, as it involves federal criminal charges against a former president for alleged criminal efforts to overturn the results of the presidential election, including through the use of official power. So that's Jack Smith's best case. Here's a little bit more. Here, applicant's request falls for two interrelated reasons. First, he cannot show the requisite likelihood that the court would reverse the judgment and sustain his extraordinary claim of absolute immunity. And second, the serious harm, this is Jack Smith's claim, remember, to the government. Come on, you're going to seriously harm the government? I highly doubt it. This is just a really thin excuse for Jack Smith, who's a fraud. Here's Buzz Lightyear. The defendant has the right to a speedy trial. That would be Trump, not the prosecution. Jack Smith's power-hungry thug. I hope the SCOTUS smacks him down hard. That's true. The speedy prosecution is to keep you from someone accusing you of something and then having you just hold on forever while they figure out a court case. It's made for the defense, not the prosecution, to hastily prosecute anyone. And then here's Sean Ross Callahan. There is no, quote, public interest in a speedy verdict. That's a made up notion without basis in the Constitution, cooked up by just to get Trump. We agree. And then here's the great Julie Kelly. Jack Smith came so close as ever to admitting a verdict is necessary before Election Day, which again would expose him if he ever actually told the truth about his agenda. What Smith avoids, but the court knows, is Department of Justice is on a collision course as at Supreme Court. Oral arguments should be held in March or April related to reversal of Department of Justice's use of 1512C to obstruction of an official proceeding. That's the Enron case they brought in from 2007 to use against the J6 defendants. And that's the collision course they're trying to avoid. That count represents half of Smith's paltry indictment of Trump in D.C. Even if the court denies emergency stay and the D.C. trial proceedings restart, there's a possibility the Supreme Court could rule against the Department of Justice on 1512C2 in May or June, which would foil half of their charges against Trump because they're trying to get him on those same that Enron deep excavation they tried throwing up against him for his alleged obstruction. Smith is hoping for a quick conviction. Supreme Court eventual opinion on 1512 be damned. I think this accounts for as much of Smith's desperation as the election. And then finally, we're going to wrap with good old Tom Cotton. Jack Smith is an unhinged zealot. 2 months ago, he said it was, quote, of imperative public importance for the Supreme Court to take Trump's case because, quote, only this court can definitively resolve it. And then now he's flip-flopped, all in a rush to convict Trump before the election, a blatant violation against Department of Justice rules on election interference. Smith should be removed and disciplined. That's Tom Cotton, guys. Let's open up a case against Jack Smith, just like we opened up a case against Fani Willis. Let's hope this happens. I hope you guys will stick around, give us a sub, and of course, leave a comment below. Let us know you're there. What's important to us is that you not just be a spectator, but you weigh in and raise your hand and say, I'm here. Just let me know in the comments below. Say, I'm here, Doug in exile. And I am Doug in exile.